Hi there, I'm Nicky Iatru, and I'm a competition lawyer and commercial litigator here at Weir-Folds in Toronto. Weir-Folds is pleased to be sponsoring this 11th annual Canadian Lawyer InHouse General Counsel Roundtable, exploring issues that are critical to today's in-house teams, such as corporate social responsibility, law department management, risk management, and regulatory challenges. Today you'll hear from 5 leading in-house counsel, gaining their views and experiences on these topics. We hope that you find the discussion to be informative and are confident that you and your legal teams will walk away with tips and insights. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Brown, editor of Canadian Lawyer InHouse magazine. Welcome to our 11th annual General Counsel Roundtable. In the first of 4 videos covering the roundtable, 5 senior in-house counsel from Toronto talk about managing their legal departments.
PayPal was founded in 98 and first IPO'd in 2002 and then was acquired by eBay. And we just went through a separation last July with eBay. And I think 2 things are at play in our company today. One is we're standing up roles across the company to replace roles that we lost in the separation. And then secondly, I think now that we're once again a public company, we're going through a natural and organic maturation process, which requires that because public expectations are changing for us, that we have to look at growing functions in a different way than we have in the past. So all of that to say we are in a growth phase, and we are certainly globally, and I think we are also in Canada.
So we have a combination of increasing growth, but also increasing compliance growth. So my function is also driven by those requirements. And so, as we make decisions about headcount, if you will, some of the things that we look at is the total spend. I mean, it's, I also try to keep it separate, but, for the people that I have conversations with, they don't always look at it as separate, and that's normal because to them it's the final bottom line, right? But we always have conversations around what it means to add somebody, which means it's not just necessarily the actual number at the bottom of your financial statements. It's the value that the person you would hire, an additional lawyer, would give you within the company. You have to talk value. You can't just talk numbers. I think that's probably true for everyone here. And I think from my perspective, I was able to really build the relationship with our business partners in-house to show that having somebody in-house, having an in-house lawyer adds tremendous value, particularly if you're in a very regulated area like ourselves.
Well, my organization is very tight, so we operate under really tight financial constraints. It's a very competitive business. When you're selling hardware, margins can be pretty slim. So we're always very competitive and tight in terms of how we manage our budget and headcount. I will say the Canadian legal team is incredibly lean for the size of the business that we own and manage. We are considered to be very lean, and in fact, we're kind of the gold standard globally for other countries in the organization because our department can be half the size of comparable organizations around the world. So we really work hard to maintain kind of what we have and do the most with the very limited resources. So I unfortunately don't see growing my department in the near term, but I think we're all more than fully utilized and certainly not reduced either.
Mm-hmm. Historically, it's always been a one-person position for the legal function anyways. So my predecessor and his predecessor were the sole chief legal officers for Navistar in Canada. Mm-hmm. And being a sub of a global company, there's limitations and restrictions there as well. So we focus primarily on building key relationships with law firms, right, and managing legal affairs as best we can that way. And the type of legal work that Navistar Canada is involved in doesn't really warrant a large department because it's primarily defendant side litigation on the product liability side, and some corporate driven transactions, be it tax or finance, that are not routine enough to justify internalizing that, right?
Well, actually, we've just recently reduced our department from 2 lawyers to 1 lawyer. And the buzzword at Randstad Canada is really lean. So we use the word lean a lot to constantly promote high-value work product. And every week, not even a week goes by, where we don't rethink how we do things so that they're more efficient, higher value. We are not a place that writes reports for the sake of reports or drafts legal opinions for the sake of a legal opinion. So what that means is, one is, yes, we do use secondments and project-based work to manage volume at times. We also look at skill sets differently. So when a law clerk can do the work, we will have a law clerk do it as opposed to a lawyer, for instance. We're always rethinking it, try to, with fresh set of eyes.